A senior US general has privately told the UK Defence Secretary the British Army is no longer considered a leading fighting force. After cuts to defence spending, one anonymous source says the British Army has been incapable of protecting the UK and its allies for the past decade.
Britain has long prided itself in fielding a force that others seek to follow. A reference army. But decades of cuts have shrunk its size and strength, even as the threats grow. Now, sources have revealed a senior US general told the Defence Secretary, pictured here with his troops, that the British Army is no longer regarded as a top-level or Tier 1 fighting force. It's a sorry slide the service hopes to fix, but insiders say it needs more cash from the UK's wartime Prime Minister in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. A defence source speaking anonymously said about the army, it's an entire service unable to protect the UK and our allies for a decade.
Defence is the thing you do when you've done everything else, but we now live in a time where we need a government that puts defence first so that the country can be defended and then also worry about its health, its education and its potholes.
Ukraine bears the scars of a country that wasn't able to deter an invasion, like the town of Borodyanka. Defence sources say the war here should be a huge wake-up call for most Western allies to get serious about their own defences, something that hasn't really happened since the Cold War. As things stand for the UK, its military would run out of ammunition in just a few days if called upon to fight, and it lacks the ability to protect British skies from the level of missile strikes that Ukraine's enduring. Rishi Sunak was keen to be seen in Ukraine after taking office, pledging more weapons for its defences. But speeding up the rearming of his own military didn't even make it onto the list of his top priorities. Vladimir Putin's full-scale war has prompted well over half of NATO's 30 member states to unveil new plans to grow their armed forces. This includes Germany, which will allocate an extra €100 billion, and France, which will lift defence spending by 40% in the coming years. By contrast, Mr Sunak has made no new pledges, though he is refreshing a review of defence policy which could lead to more money. A government spokesperson said, "The Prime Minister is clear that we have to do everything necessary to protect our people, which is why the UK has the largest defence budget in Europe, and in 2020 we made the biggest investment in the UK defence industry since the Cold War." People weren't convinced in this garrison town in Yorkshire, where Mr Sunak is also the local MP.
There's been too many cutbacks in the forces altogether. So I don't agree with it. I like Rishi, but he's wrong on that.
If we lose the army, we lose everything that's been built around the army. The locals will suffer.
Others are happy to leave military spending as it is. But if the UK wants to keep parading on the world stage, it might be time for a change of tune.